Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers channel.
I hope everyone are doing good. In today's video, we are going to see how you can make use of flow components like invoke flows, subflows, get output in your RPA studio. And also in part 2, I have explained how you can create this flow which we are going to use it in today's video. Let me quickly walk you through the flow which we built in last video. So this is the flow which is called create incident and send email for an error. This flow basically defines that you have to create an incident whenever we have error in the RPA bot. And also if you are interested to know how to build the entire flow, make sure you watch my part 2. I'll give the link in the description as well. In today's video, let's concentrate on studio part. So now let's get started. Go to the toolbox, filter with flow. So you have few components like get execution stated, output, invoke action flow and subflows. As we have built subflow, we are going to see how you can use this component called invoke subflow. And now let's drag and drop this. So when you drag and drop this, you just see this contest ID as an output parameter, no other input parameters. In order to add it, click on this configuration window where you have to choose your subflow name. So let's start typing the name which is called create incident and send an error. So let me type it, create incident. So I did not get anything. We'll change the character. As you see, I did not get any flows. So the first step is to publish your flow in order to use them in the studio. So let's publish it now. And I'm going to click on publish. So this is successfully published. Now let's go ahead and try it out. Let me open this. We'll type create incident. So we get the one which is published now, which is create incident and send email. So as soon as I click on it, it starts taking all the input fields which we have given there. So we have process name, email sender, error message and the subject. Let's click on OK. And as soon as you click OK, you will be seeing the flow name and all the parameters added over here. And to test it, you can provide constant parameter, but in real time, we do not provide the parameter which automatically the bot should get from the previous executed actions. The first component is try catch, as the agenda is to create an incident only whenever there is an error. So I'm just manually throwing an error for which I have this try catch. So if you take a try catch, you just have these two parameters which is on error and error message. This on error is something which should pass it to the activity or component which handle any kind of exception or whenever there is an error. Just checking the control output and then making a decision like if it is true. By default the boolean take the value false. So I'm not providing anything over here. Directly I'm just connecting my false port to the throw error, wherein I'm just throwing the exception. So you have two parameters for throw. And this component helps to throw an error in the execution. So whenever there is an error or unexpected behavior, you can just throw this exception manually. So it has two parameters, exception type and message. For the exception type, you can provide whatever you want. I'm just going with application exception. And you can add the respective message, and I have hard coded that the value is not true. So this is going to be a simple message. And let me remove this and let me quickly run and show you what would be the value of this decision. I'll keep a breakpoint, and if you say it automatically goes to the false, default value is false. So let me click on move next. So it is trying to end the process as we do not have any exception handling mechanism for this on error. I hope you got an idea about this throw error. Let me connect this and show how to work on this. So if I connect it, let me keep a breakpoint, and now I'll run this. As soon as the error is thrown, it is coming to the on error part and execute all the actions we place over here. So let me delete it and add the one which we should add. So I'll keep this one. So the error message should be input parameter for this error message, and then we have to provide the process name. So for this example, I'm not going to have any separate variable, but in real time, make sure that you create some input parameters or variable in which you can map the process name, sender ID. I also can get the parameters if it is required from process parameters as well. Let me provide the process name like RPA incident bot, and let me give the sender name which I'll copy from here. and we have configured the error message. Let's say the subject exception on, I'll just give exception, and this is completed. Now let me quickly run this. So there is an error, it come to the flow designer, it got executed successfully. If you want to view the contest ID, which you can preview it over here, and this ID is required when you want to use other flow designer properties. For example, if you want to get the output, there is a parameter that you have to pass this input to this contest ID, and this is same for the execution status as well. And let's quickly check the status of it. Quickly check the incident. And if you see that we have this exception now, let me open the incident, and also let's quickly check the emails. So this is the incident it created, and also we can see the short description that the component failed. The bot RPA incident is a bot name which failed due to component throw error, failed to execute in the activity, create on incident error. And also the application, the value is not true. If you see that we have this error message or the exception message on throw error, it ignored them. So make sure you adjust the characters accordingly. Let's check the email. So this is the exception email, and you can see the subject name exception, which is appended with the actual incident number. And here you can see that an error occurred on RPA bot due to this, and also the exception message. It says this incident is also created for the name. It takes some time to send the email, so I have shown the email which is sent over here. Let me also tell you about the error which you get when you are using your flow designer for the very first time. So there are two different kinds of access which you should provide. If not, you will be getting different error. I'll also attach the error over here. So the first step after you publish your flow designer to the flow, there is something called manage security here. So just have to click on this three dot and scroll down, click on manage security, and by default you don't have all these properties here, which is RPA flow designer, import versions attachment. There will be an option to update your record, so make sure you update it. So as soon as you update it, you can use the flow designer over there. And this is regarding the first error, and also you get a second error that you don't have access to read the flow. Make sure that your account has access to read your flows from flow designer rules. Make sure you open your role, which is admin in my case, and here just click on edit. So go to the collection and filter with FD. You have few roles like flow designer, read action, read flows, and read operation. So make sure you give read actions and read flows. So I'm just going to add everything and click on save. So this is the two permissions which you have to give before you use them in the studio. Let me also show you the documentation. So here you can see that manage access to flow designer features. So if you scroll down, there is something called manage security. If you want to use this flow designer action, we should provide the access by using this manage security options. Let me also show you the user access for the flow designer. And here you can see the user access to the specific role, so which is read flows, read actions, and read operations. After I provide the necessary access, I was able to use them in my RPA bot. So yeah, make sure you provide them. And this is a very simple example, but in real time you have a plenty of actions or component. So make sure you use the proper error handling and everything, and use this invoke subflow or flows in place to send an error message or create incident. It not just you have to create incident, you can also class incident, or you can just send an email. So depends on your requirement, you can adjust your logic. But this is just a simple way to show you how you can just use this flow in your code. Let me also show how you can get the outputs. So I'm going to use this ID as input. Let me run this now. So this is completed. We'll see the output, which should give us the incident number. So the incident number is 48, which is expected. I hope you got an understanding about the studio part as well as the flow designer part. So, and make sure you watch the previous video to understand the complete use case. In case you guys find this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching this video till the end.